Hello students, welcome to Real Academy. I'm Shilpa Shanta Kumar, dealing up with social science. Yes, I belong from social science faculty. Students, when I said social science, obviously I know what are you wondering about. Like seriously, history, geography, or civics? Oh my god, it's a quite a boring subject, right? And if you agree to me, yes, obviously you can make me more engage into that by commenting below by saying that whether you like it or not. I would be happy to answer you up why and how. But yes, students, I'm here in front of you talking about something that I'm gonna deal up with the CBSE question or the pattern, that is rural life and society. So students, when I'm saying in the 8th standard, you have this concept called rural life and society. How does India came, or how did India got emerged to be as a part of urban and rural becomes the biggest question. As I told you, we need to think a lot. We need to change the perspective, right? So जब मैं ये कहूँ कि हिंदुस्तान as a country or India as a country got culminated after looking into a proper economic strands, got bifurcated into two sectors, basically the rural and the urban. But yes, students, today in this session, we are going to focus on rural life and the society. It's quite mandatory to understand what was the land revenue system which was existing during the period of Mughals or either the Britishers, or how did modern period came across with such land revenue system. Obviously, yes, there was a huge impacts on you and me. I meant to say the common people of the nation. So let's have a quick look over there what I'm trying to talk about. So when I'm saying students villages, you are aware. यहाँ पे ना मुझे गांधी की एक स्टेटमेंट याद आ रही है, where Mahatma Gandhi said once, if you want India to be the higher level, or if you want India to be more developed in every day-to-day life of your past days, you need to think one thing, and that is what? You should start developing India from a grassroots level. And according to him, the grassroots level was villages. So if you look into this earlier scenario, my dear students, villages की अगर आप बात करेंगे, भले वो ancient period हो या फिर medieval India की अगर आप बात करोगे, we were quite sufficient enough, especially the villages. They were self-sufficient. There was no like greediness or anything. They used to grow for themselves, for their own development, right? They had this plot tilting. Everything was on. But how did we got created into an imbalanced pattern becomes the biggest question in front of us. Let's get answer to that. When I'm saying imbalanced pattern, we need to understand something as went through words a breakthrough pattern. How did it got culminated? Basically, अगर आप farmers की बात करेंगे, they own their own land, they cultivated, and they got paid up somewhere or the other, like they have supposed to pay the taxes, right? I guess you are aware about it, जहां पे हम कहते हैं land revenue. अब सवाल ये उठता है कि taxes किसे भरना है? Obviously, the rulers of the region. So what the farmers used to do? They used to tilt the land, they used to get the productivity, and after, in accordance to the regular intervals, they were supposed to pay the taxes to the ruler. And that taxes, my dear students, were considered to be as what? Land revenue. आपने ये बात सुना ही होगा. So जब land revenue की आप बात कर रहे हैं, कुछ rulers ने क्या किया? ये land revenue को कहीं ना कहीं utilize किया so that they can improve the land and they can come across with welfare schemes. Now, my dear kids, what are welfare schemes? Obviously, you are aware India has an agrarian type of economy. And for us, we are 24/7 dependent on agriculture. When I'm saying 24/7, yes, most part of the population is still being engaged into agriculture. So at that scenario, my dear kids, it's quite mandatory that you should have a better irrigation facilities. So under such welfare schemes, they came across with digging wells or creating canals. Because you are aware that India do have 3 to 4 seasonal patterns also, right? So in that, according to the seasonal patterns, our growth happens in a productivity or in the agriculture product. So it was mandatory to come across with such. But इसी के साथ एक और चीज ये देखना है कि साल बदलते बदलते कहीं ना कहीं they started facing crop failure. So when you're facing a crop failure over there, because I don't think so you can predict rainfall. Yes, we do have meteorological department, but at the end of the day you cannot say कि हाँ अगले 2 मिनट में अभी बारिश गिरने वाला है, चलो सब दिन छाता लेके खड़े हो जाओ. Can you do that? No. So at that scenario it's mandatory, and somewhere or the other it's predictability, I would say, कि there is a possibility of crop failure. So students, did this happen? And when this happened, rulers, they even exempted the farmers paying from taxes. Now what do you mean by exempted? कुछ farmers ऐसे थे जो taxes obviously भर रहे, तो अगर crop fail हो जाता है, so they couldn't be able to pay it. So it was very clear, either they have to go with the flow, or either they have to somewhere or the other prove it that they have to pay over there towards the rulers. So what did rulers did? Ruler asked them to do what? A cancellation of the taxes by understanding the situations of the farmers. So exempted का मतलब ये है कि उन्हें उनके टैक्स भरने से मना करना, या फिर उन्हें इजाजत देना कि इस मंथ नहीं कर पा रहे हो या इस इंटरवल को नहीं कर पा रहे हो. In the next interval, when you have a good crop cultivation, you can come across with the taxes. So yes, rulers somewhere or the other, they were in quite supportive manner when we are calling it as farmers, they are facing the issues. So I hope I'm clear with the gist, like what exactly I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk on land revenue system, the taxes which were paid. So yes, it was mandatory that food was needed for the survival. उस period of time में they were only thinking कि मेरे survival के लिए मुझे क्या चाहिए? Food. Being a farmer, and also being a farmer from the family where everyone is totally dependent on me. So at that scenario, my dear students, we went into some of this system where we came across with some of the pivotal changes. When I'm saying pivotal, I meant to say significant or the important changes after the arrival or the advent of Britishers. So what was the changes which came across over here? You can see the grant of Diwani. This is basically the revenue rights. Diwani की जब आप बात करेंगे, ये कहीं ना कहीं ब्रिटिश के हाथ जा चुका था, so that they can collect revenue from some of the prosperous regions. Don't ask me why it went, because you are already aware how it went towards in the hands of Britishers, because they started coming across with colonization. उंगली दिया, हाथ पकड़ के चले गए. You are aware about it. So यहाँ पे बंगाल जैसे huge province, बिहार या फिर उड़ीसा, इस तरीके के बड़े बड़े regions के दीवानी rights किसके hand पे आ चुका था? Britishers के हाथ पे. And when you're saying that you're allowing them to be a part of revenue, what are you expecting? You have handed over your entire key of revenue towards Britishers. भाई अगर आप तिजोरी का अगर चाबी दे दोगे तो उम्मीद क्या रख रहे हो कि तिजोरी आपके लिए बचा रहेगा? That's the biggest deal. So you can see out over here the right to civil and judicial administration. It was still under the courts of Nawab. इनफैक्ट मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि नवाब के हाथ में दीवानी राइट्स होनी चाहिए थी और बाकी सब चीजें उन लोग के अंडर होना चाहिए था, बट नहीं, ये सिर्फ मुझे लगता है, शायद आपको भी लगता होगा. मेक श्योर यू आर कमेंटिंग बिलो एंड मेकिंग मी नो व्हाट यू थिंक एंड व्हाट वाज द सिचुएशन एट दैट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम व्हेन कॉलोनाइजेशन हैपेंड इन इंडिया. वी आर जस्ट थिंकिंग कि ये होना चाहिए था, बट इट वाज नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल बिकॉज कॉलोनाइजेशन वाज गेटिंग मोर स्ट्रॉन्गर in the roots of India. So धीरे धीरे करके हर rights उनके पास चले गए, especially the Diwani rights, right? So my dear students, let's get back over here, and this somewhere or the other created a system of dual system of government. I would say both working together, the ruler and the Britisher, right? Ruler is getting the civil political rights to look after the region. Britishers are getting the right of Diwani, that is the revenue rights, and that's resulted into an emergence or the advent of which system? Dual system. A very important question from this topic, dual system of the government. So I'm sure कि ये सेशन में ही आपको ये भी लर्न हो गया रहेगा कि दो तरीके के सेक्शंस, ब्रिटिश एंड रूरल राइट्स बांट दिए गए और इस हिसाब से डुअल सिस्टम ऑफ गवर्नमेंट आ गया. सो रूरल स्टार्टेड बिकमिंग अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस सिस्टम, बट Britishers most probably had no interest in utilizing the revenue for our welfare, for the welfare of the common people. Agreed? Predictable, right? So they started working because their basic aim was so that they can expand their trading operations. At the end of the day, India, students, if you look at India's location in the world, it's pretty much clear to you why the invaders chose India. You have three types of water boundary: Arabian Sea in the west, South Indian Ocean, East Bay of Bengal. It was quite easier for them to flourish their markets through this system, and British got succeeded. इनफैक्ट स्टूडेंट्स, ये चीज बोलने वाली बात है कि इतने सारे इन्वेडर्स हिंदुस्तान में आए, बट किसी ने भी ये नहीं सोचा कि इंडिया की इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम बदला जाए. बट इट वाज ओनली ब्रिटिशर्स हु डिसाइडेड to change and come across with new policies when it comes to the economic system. And the beginning was from the land revenue system. And they only thought about the expansion of their trading operations so that they can earn maximum level of profits. So जितना maximization यहाँ पे दिख रहा है profits के लिए, उसके लिए कुछ भी करने Britishers were ready. At that scenario, you can see with this intent, British introduced lot of different policies and they started doing changes in the patterns of agricultural India. And that started affecting and impacting the normal individuals of India because they were not habitual about it. But now, with the emergence of Britishers, new policies, new rules, new advent of thought process, new modernization, everything started happening in the society of India. Now the question comes in the mind, what about Indian farmers? Would they be able to survive over here? Was the biggest question. Let's get back to the answer. The land revenue collection under the Britishers. What were the pattern which they started coming across? So when you look into them, British started devising different form of land revenue collection in different arenas so that they can earn one thing, and that was they can gain a larger number of profits and they can maximize it on the higher level. और इसीलिए उन्होंने क्या किया, लैंड रेवेन्यू का जो सिस्टम था वो धीरे धीरे कर बदला कर वो अपने अंडर कंट्रोल उन्होंने कर लिया. और उसमें का पहला अगर आप देखोगे जो सिस्टम था, दैट वाज द परमानेंट सेटलमेंट. मेक श्योर यू आर नोटिंग इट डाउन. द परमानेंट सेटलमेंट वाज द फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉलिसी which was kept in front of us from Britishers. Let's get back to this. 1793, my dear students, Lord Cornwallis. Make sure you're noting this name properly. He was the one who introduced permanent settlement in Bengal, Orissa, Bihar, Varanasi, and some different parts of Madras Presidency. And he made sure after implementing the system called to be as permanent settlement, they came across with something. Zamindars who were in the Mughal period had no ownership of land. उनकी कोई भी ownership नहीं थी, but उनके पास सिर्फ एक right था that they can collect revenue from it. अब इन लोगों को आप देख सकते हो owners बना दिया गया था under the permanent settlement. एक चीज ध्यान रखिएगा, ब्रिटिशर्स जो भी करती है सोच समझ करके करती है. They were quite practical about it. What they did, who did not had any lands, they got the land under permanent settlements. Now, someone is owing someone to something. Zamindar started owing support towards permanent settlement system, which was started by Britishers because from the zone of landless, they became the landowners. It was totally out of the box, but that's what Britishers did. And at that scenario, the Zamindars had to pay the British a permanently fixed amount of revenue regardless of the yield of the land. ये बहुत बात सही थी कि ब्रिटिशर्स हर जगह पहुंच नहीं सकती है, तो उन्होंने क्या किया कि जमींदार्स को लैंड दे दिया और उन्हें कहा कि एक इंटरवल्स में यू आर सपोज टू पे द टैक्सेस टू अस एंड इट वाज परमानेंटली फिक्स्ड। अब सवाल यह उठता है कि क्रॉप कल्टीवेशन हो या ना हो, जमींदार्स को वो परमानेंटली सेटल्ड अमाउंट किसको पे करना पड़ेगा? ब्रिटिशर्स को। एक तरफ से वो एडवांटेज था, दूसरी तरफ से वो डिसएडवांटेज था। कमिंग ओवर हियर, द अमाउंट हैड टू बी पेड बाय अ पर्टिकुलर डेट, failing which the land could be transferred to someone else. You are supposed to pay that particular amount at one particular date, which has been aligned to you, which has been allocated to you from the system of Britishers. In fact, if you are unable to pay that taxes, automatically आपकी जो land है वो किसी और के हाथ चले जाएगा। So आपको क्या लगता है, जमींदार उस चीज को भरना जरूरी समझेंगे, लैंड रेवेन्यू टैक्सेस को, या फिर वो बैठे रहेंगे? ऑब्वियसली दे गोना पे इट बिकॉज दे डज नॉट वांटेड टू बिकम अ लैंडलेस, राइट? सो यू कैन सी दिस वाज अ वाइस वर्सा सिचुएशन, somewhere or the other imbalancing the entire land revenue system of India. So you can see any tax that was collected over and above, it was a fixed amount that belonged to zamindar. अब जितनी भी टैक्सेस कलेक्ट की जाती है उसमें से एक पर्टिकुलर अमाउंट किसको जाता है? जमींदार को। तो वो यहां से जाए या वहां से जाए, कहीं ना कहीं एक प्रॉफिट तो उसको है। तो ऐसे चीज को जमींदार बिल्कुल भी छोड़ने से रहा। कमिंग बैक ओवर हियर, द नेक्स्ट सिस्टम माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, द रयतवारी सिस्टम। परमानेंट सेटलमेंट इज क्लियर टू यू। रयतवारी एक ऐसा सिस्टम है जो ब्रिटिशर्स ने इंट्रोड्यूस किया डिफरेंट मेथड में, different revenue collection pe. But when you look into that, it was introduced in Bombay and Madras presidencies in 1820. So it was quite mandatory region, right? It was a prime location and gaining amount of money was so feasible. So you can see the Rayatwari system got introduced in the region of Madras and Bombay presidencies and it is known to be as what? Rayatwari. ये ध्यान में रखें। But रयत का मतलब क्या है? Ryots is basically the cultivators, right? Who are the owners of the land. They were considered to be as what? Rayot, right? अब वही जगह पे उन्हें क्या करना है? They have to pay the earning, like half of the earning as a taxes to the agents of the British government. समझो अगर 100 रुपए कमाए तो उसमें से 50 वो जाएगा एजेंट्स को जो ब्रिटिश के एजेंट्स है, राइट? सो यू हैव टू पे हाफ ऑफ योर अर्निंग्स अंडर दिस सिस्टम दैट इज रयतवारी। एंड कहीं ना कहीं बदले में आपको क्या मिलेगा? यू आर गोइंग टू गेट मोर सिक्योरिटी टूवर्ड्स योर एंटायर सिस्टम। सो दिस इज हाउ द रयतवारी सिस्टम गॉट एग्जिस्टेड। कमिंग ओवर हियर, when you can see as there were no intermediaries or जमींदार, कहीं पे भी बीच पे एज अ मीडिएटर जमींदार नहीं थे या कोई भी नहीं था, सो इट वाज क्वाइट फीजिबल फॉर द गवर्नमेंट टू गेट द एलोकेटेड रेवेन्यू एट देयर डोर स्टेप। सो एट दैट सिनेरियो यू कैन सी टैक्सेस जो थे रयतवारी में हर 20 साल में वो रिवाइज होते रहते थे, दे हैव टू चेंज। बट इफ द टैक्सेस वर नॉट पेड, अगर आप टैक्सेस नहीं भरते हो तो कहीं ना कहीं जो रयत है they were evicted from the land. जो भी कल्टीवेटर है उसको उस लैंड से हटा दिया जाता था, जबकि लैंड उसका है और उसकी लैंड किसी और को दे दी जाती थी। एंड दिस वाज अ सिस्टम ऑफ व्हाट? रयतवारी। आई होप माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स आई एम क्लियर विद द सेकंड रेवेन्यू सिस्टम। थर्ड वी हैव द महलवारी सिस्टम, which was again a third introduction of the land revenue pattern from Britishers in Indian society. Come back over here. Mahalwari system was again a tax collection system which was introduced in the states of Punjab and also if you look into some of the patches of the northwestern region. And this was introduced almost in the term of 1833. Make sure करें कि आप dates याद रख रहे हो। मुझे पता है कि आपको dates याद नहीं रहता, but start making the tables for the dates, for the events, for the characteristics. Within a click, you would be done with the topic. So get back to this. इस सिस्टम के अंदर अगर आप देख रहे हो, one landlord, my dear students, one landlord is usually the head of the village. And yes, he or she was chosen to represent the group of the villages known to be as mahal. ठीक है, ये याद रखना है, a very important question out over here. So you can see the village head would collect the taxes. जो head है वो taxes collect करेगा villages से और directly hand over किसको करेगा? Tax collector या फिर लंबरदार. What we call it as लंबरदार. उनके हाथ में ये tax क्या कर देंगे? दे देंगे. Now the लंबरदार collected the taxes from each villages. हर एक villages से लंबरदार ने क्या किया? टैक्सेस ले लिया एंड रिमिटेड द बल्क टू द गवर्नमेंट. जो भी बल्क में अमाउंट आ गया फ्रॉम डिफरेंट रीजन्स, फ्रॉम डिफरेंट विलेजेस, what they're gonna do? They're gonna submit it to the British government, right? And you can see one thing, the cultivators were individually and jointly responsible for payment of the taxes to the government. It was not one individual or two individual. It was like you can do it individually or you can do it jointly or you can get into a group and you can do it when it comes to paying the taxes to the government. So that's why it was the system which was coming across. और यहाँ पे अगर आप देख रहे हो, the tax was fixed and it got revised into the regular intervals. ये चीजें regular intervals में जाने लग गए. So I hope my dear students, I'm pretty much clear with the three system. What were they? First was permanent settlement, second was Rayotwari, and third was Mahalwari. So students, if you look into this entire pattern, the land revenue system, it somewhere or the other impacted farmers. How? That becomes a question. And let me raise a question to you. What you think when I'm saying this three different land revenue patterns? What you think? Please comment below and let me know कि after implementing this system, were the Indian farmers happy about it? Or what do you think that they started facing the issues? I would like to get connected to you by looking into your answers or by connecting to you, having a discussions on the deliberations over there. But make sure that you're letting me know what is your opinion, right? So thank you so much. I hope this content would have been quite impressive for you and you might have liked it. And if you liked it, make sure you're subscribing our channel. And please, bhuliyega nahi, make sure that you're clicking the bell icon to get more updates, to enjoy more videos about social science. Thank you so much.